guys. I just wanted to, one, naturally talk my shit, but I also got some questions. So I'm really hoping some men come on here because I want to pick y'all's brains. I want to know why y'all think that we are your mothers and sisters. Hey Raymond. Hey Cece. I am about to eat this pear, but I want some men to get on here because I want to know why there's a pattern that I keep noticing. And I know that if I ask a man that I'm not dating or sexually involved with, there would be no reason to be personally attacked by my statement. So that's going to be validating. Raven, did you make it back home yet? Cece, what's going on? Oh, nothing. I just dealt with somebody who is really delusional this morning. And it's so crazy because the level of projection that this person used was like, man, I wish I could film this shit right now. Oh, good. I'm glad you made it back home safely. Yeah, it was like the level of projection that I just endured a few hours ago was just like, the audacity is just through the roof. It's a whole epidemic in itself right now. But I find that the male ego, like once you deal with a man whose ego is bigger than his higher self, his spirit, like it outweighs all of the good in him, like that top of the list for the cons, you know? Once you meet a man like that, it's like all of the great things about you just disappear. They hold no weight anymore because your ego just dissolves all of that. And I don't know why men think that they have to have such a strong ego. Like, why do they think that corresponds with being a man? Being hard, being shut off, being unapproachable, being rude, being condescending, being belittling. All of these egoic things, because the ego operates out of fear. And when you don't know how a situation is going to go, you tend to behave really... What's the adjective that I want to use? Like you behave a little unsure, but that can be threatening to somebody who feels like they know. You know, you feel like you secure in yourself and then somebody does something and that threatens you and now you're like, oh shit, maybe I don't really know myself the way I thought I did. But instead of you self-assessing and trying to figure out the disconnection within yourself, you want to gaslight and blame me. What's up with that? I want men to answer this. And I'm just asking the questions because I know somebody gonna come on and watch later. But I'm like, what's up with that? Why is the lack of accountability so prevalent with y'all? And I noticed that it's men my age. It's men of all ages, honestly. Hey, cuz. It's men of all ages. Now, women that's watching, do y'all have similar experiences? Like, I know we reflect, you know, our relationships are a reflection of us. So I know that there's something that I do to trigger this in other people. I'm well aware of that. And I know that I'm making progress too because I see the signs that support that also. But I constantly deal with men, and it's probably just black men because those are the only men that I've tried to date, that have this horrible consistency for lacking accountability. Like their self-awareness is so lacking. It's like you don't even truly know who you are. So when I call you out for some shit, you like, that's not me. No, that's not who your perception of you is. But that's how you act. That's the you that I'm getting. And you can break it down, spell it out, make it plain, give examples. And they will deny. What is up with it? Hey. I'm like, what? I got some views on here. You know what? I started going live more frequently. So I think now Instagram is trying to take me seriously. Yes, I'm experiencing that. And I need answers too. Girl, I'm trying to get answers for everybody. Because I realize like women are in this place where we just, especially women of color, we are not waiting on anybody else to get their shit together. It's just like, all right, we finna go, bye. Like, We gave you opportunities. We gave you chances. We tried to be patient with you. We tried to be compassionate. We tried to yelling. We tried to hooping and hollering. We tried to begging. We tried to crying. Now we're just trying to do us. We don't care. We don't care no more. And it was crazy. The dude came over here. He's like, oh, I just wanted to see how you was doing. You didn't have to come sit in my face to see how I was doing. You could have called me and asked me how I was doing over the phone, and I could explain to you. But you suck at listening. So I told him, I realized that you can be a little unsure of yourself sometimes, and you can escape, you can run away. No more arguing, especially when you suck at listening. When I realize that you hear what you want to hear and I'm talking to a wall, I'm out. I'm sorry, I can't do it. When I realize that I got to repeat myself, if I say the same thing verbatim and you hear something different both times, and then I say, okay, let me paraphrase it, because maybe it didn't translate the way I thought it did. Let me try to find another way to express myself. And then I actually find a better way to say it, and you still don't get it. It's you. It's you. It's not me. Somebody's trying, somebody's putting forth the effort, but I feel like women have been putting forth a lot more effort than men. Men get in this place where they're like, ugh, this is hard. Fuck this shit. I'm not doing this. And you think it's manly to throw your hands up and lead and to just bounce when you can't manipulate the situation to go your way, or you can't dominate the situation with demand and control with your ego when you need to bring something softer to the table. When you actually need to be a little bit more receptive. In order for you to understand the problem that I have with you, you're going to need to listen to my transgressions. But if you don't care about my complaints, how the fuck are you going to solve a problem that you don't give a fuck about? You just told me you don't care. And now you're like, oh, well, let's move on. No, ain't no moving on, because we're going to be right the fuck back here. And I don't like repeating myself. So let's just solve the shit right now. Complacent, yeah, they do be complacent. But I think it's fear, because men want to be close to us just as much as we want to be close to them. They just don't know how to express that. They don't know how to be vulnerable. They're threatened by that. Their ego is threatened by that. And that's how I know you're not self-reflecting and healing, because that's what shadow work is all about. And if you do that with yourself, it's a lot easier for you to do it with me. But it's going to be hard to face me when you can't face yourself. And I'm not going to let up on you. I promise you I'm not. Because you want to walk around like you're such a man and like your ego is so big and strong, but your unhealed ego is no match for my healed ego. It's no match. I'm going to dominate you and devour you every fucking time. And that's going to be a blow to your ego too. So it's like you keep setting yourself up for failure. And they keep trying to try spiritual women thinking that we're soft and we're docile and we're easy to get over on. It's like, bruh, I'm 20 steps ahead of you. A regular woman is 10 steps ahead of you. I'm 20. So it's like, once we had sex, you gave me permission to connect with your higher self. And I know what's up before you even ready to admit what's up. You know what I mean? Like, and they'll stay in denial. They think being a simp is by showing any type of care. Yeah, like any type of emotion, any type of vulnerability, but they miss the fact that that's where your strength is at. And it's like, how many times do you have to keep repeating the same patterns and going through the same situations, treating women the same ways? Like, we got entirely different backgrounds, cultures, personalities, and you're going to treat us all the same way, but it's all of us? No, nigga, you are the common denominator. It's you. It's you. It's like, how many times do you have to repeat the same mistakes before you realize where you're messing up at? So look, y'all, I'm speaking on personal experience, because somebody asked to come over here so we could have a conversation. And they wasn't over here for more than 20 minutes. Because I was just like, what's up? Because the last time we spoke, you were having a hard time taking accountability for some weak ass shit that you did. I'm paraphrasing now. I'm talking shit now. It was a lot more calm. And it's like, just because I'm bringing it up don't mean I'm still bothered. I'm not hurt. I'm not mad. I'm not upset. I just don't move on with people who have shown me repeatedly that they lack accountability. And then he tried to gaslight me. And I'm like, oh, this motherfucker here. Now you insulting my intelligence. He's like, oh, because he's like, oh, that shit is bullshit. What did he say to me? I'm like, no, I'm not talking about the right thing. What did he say to me? I gave him an example of something that I saw in his natal chart. He asked me to explain it to him, so I explained it to him. He's like, oh, that's all bullshit. That's all. But I'm like, actually, no, it's not. I think you're just triggered by the fact that it's factual and it resonates and you don't like that. And then he was like, later on in the conversation, I was like, you have the tendency to disappear. You escape from things and you shut down when you decide something ain't worth your time anymore, or you don't want to deal with something. You shut down and you disappear. That's because Neptune is in your first house. But it also can make you a little bit unsure of yourself or confused or confusing. Y'all, I ain't been pulled a composite chart on us. There's so much confusion in our communication. Like every time we talk, it's like we're talking to walls. It's like he don't hear me, I don't hear him. And that's why we don't fucking deal with each other. So later on in the conversation, I tell him, I was like, you disappear. He's like, that's not true. That's not true. You never got the chance. You never tried to actually get to know me. That's based on a book. That's not who I am. I'm like, no, sweetheart. I didn't use my studies to explain to me who you were. I used our experiences, my personal experiences, my primary firsthand experiences with you. And then seeing it in your chart just validated it for me, because it always validates everything, because that is your makeup, that is your wiring, that's how you're coded. And I'm like, that's just a small part of you. There's other variables and factors that support that and make it a good thing and make it a bad thing sometimes. It's just how you use it, right? All he heard was that you're confusing, you be disappearing, and you be escaping. All he heard, that's all he heard. All he heard was a triggering point. He took that, ran with it, right? You didn't hear any of the compliments. You didn't hear the sandwich that I tried to create. None of that. Took it as a personal attack. Hey, Lyndon. When it comes right my time, I just be like, fuck this, I ain't dealing with it. I shut down. What's that not? What the fuck you said? When I said it, I was crazy. I just said that. No, you didn't. You didn't say that. How you gonna tell me what I said? I was telling what I said. No, we're together. We're not together. I haven't heard from you in forever. What's crazy? Like, you be doing voodoo on me. I just swear, if I was doing voodoo on you, you'd do exactly what the fuck I wanted you to do. I wouldn't have any complaints about you because I have you wrapped around my finger in the middle of my mouth. Okay? So that's a clear indicator that I ain't doing shit extra out of my way. Or a nigga who unstable. Why the hell would I try to go on my way to keep you? Oh, my, I should break it up. Oh, sorry. I don't know what's going on with that. My internet been active. I moved like a little closer to my thing, but. And then I was confused about the whole reason that he's like, oh, I wanted to apologize for whatever I did. And I was like, well, what is the whatever I did? What does that mean? He's like, oh, well, whatever it is that you upset about. I said, no, I don't want that. Because that lacks accountability and that lacks integrity. Basically, you're just saying, oh, well, I don't want you to be mad at me anymore. So let's just forget that ever happened. Because it's over. I'm over it. So you should get over it too. Let's just move on and pretend to be friends now. Okay? Because I don't want you to be mad at me. I don't like how it feels when people are mad at me. Even though they're totally valid. And their ill feelings towards me because I fucked up. So I was like, nah, I don't want that. He's like, I'm trying to apologize to you. And I said, no, because that's not a true apology. Well, I don't feel like I owe you an explanation. I said, I didn't ask you for an explanation. I was like, he's like, well, I don't know what you want from me. I said, well, I want accountability and integrity. Well, I said that before he said, I don't know what you want from me. I just told you. I just can't understand this stuff without I just can't get over stuff without an understanding. And I'm not asking you, I feel the same way. I'm not asking for you to break it down to me and explain to me like I'm 5. But if you're gonna say you're gonna do something and you can't do it, something comes up. If you so-called respect me and you care about me, have the decency to communicate. That's just decent consideration. Don't say you care about me when the way that you care, when the way you express that is very selfish. It's very opportunistic and very, very contingent on what you can get out of me. So he was on some shit like, yeah, well, whatever I did. And he was like, yeah, that is what it is. I just want to get over it. I'm like, no, that's not a true apology. You're not actually feeling remorseful for anything. You just don't want me to be upset with you. And I'm not upset with you. So there's no reason to apologize if that's the only reason you're giving me an apology. It's not needed. So completely disregard everything that I said. And when I say I'm not upset, don't keep trying to tell me that I am upset because I'm trying to hold you accountable and you trying to dance around that. You're trying to skip over that shit so fucking bad that you want to gaslight me into telling me that I'm crazy and that I'm mean or that I'm dysfunctional or that it's me. Like, you want to make me out to be the bad guy because you are not strong enough to self-assess and realize and take accountability and responsibility for the fact that you are the one who's the bad guy, my guy. He was getting so mad. And I was laughing. He was like, oh, she's still mad. She's still mad. I'm not mad, boo. Why you think I'm mad? I'm chilling. I'm literally living my best life. Took a month off my job. I can still pay my bills. I'm living my dream. I'm black. I'm beautiful. I'm single. The fuck I got to be mad for? You mad because you won't do what I want you to do? When the fact of the matter is, you're not even doing what you want to do. You and your ego and your higher self is having a war, and you keep trying to get me caught up in the crossfire. I don't want no parts of it, my guy, because I've been trying to help you, but you don't want my help. It's like, you ever have somebody ask you for your help? In subtle ways, in direct ways, they ask for your help, and then when you offer, they threatened by it. They offended. What you trying to say? I need your help? Didn't you fucking ask for it? That's ego. Nothing but the fucking ego. And the whole time he's sitting there, he having this whole conflict within himself, like, why am I even here? Why am I even here? I could see it all up his face. He was like, why am I here? He asking me why he here. I don't fucking know, nigga. I'm asking you the same thing. You look like you don't want to be here. He's like, I don't. Okay. And I'm trying not to be rude. Like, okay, well, you could go. I value my quiet time, alone time better than I value company, especially somebody who don't want to be here as company anyway. So thanks for stopping by, I guess. And then you want to tell me I'm weird. The projection. You sat up there and told me you don't even like my personality, yet you went out your way to unblock me and to call me and to come to my house to apologize for whatever you may have done, to sit up in my face and tell me that I'm weird. That makes sense, I guess, to you. I'm like, bro, you're delusional. You're weird. And your mama weird for raising you like this. Get out of my house. Like, bro, how do they do the same thing over and over and over and not see the pattern? Because I think the general basis is a lack of accountability and not being able to. There's an intolerable feeling that these men have, especially men of color, because this is all I deal with, all I have been dealing with. Until further notice. Because my chart definitely supports me marrying somebody foreign. So, just saying. But there's something that there's an intolerable triggering reaction that they have when a woman of color calls a man of color out on his bullshit. Something about that takes him back to that little boy who thinks that you his mama, or that you're his sister, or your his granny, or somebody, whoever it was that they got that childhood trauma that they haven't healed or resolved. Like, whoever it was that did it, I'm not her. And it's like, if I could tell y'all how many times this man has done the same thing, and it's like, I'm not interested in a future with you, but you said you wanted to be heard, so I'm gonna allow you the opportunity to be heard. Only because when I want to be heard, I want people to give me the opportunity to be heard, so I love like I want to be loved. And I'm always gonna give people the opportunity to prove me wrong. If I think you ain't shit, please prove me wrong. I'm gonna pull up a seat. I'm all eyes and ears, and not in a condescending way, because I don't want to be right about some of the things that I channel from people. I'm always try to see your good side. But I don't know what it is about men. It's like I know what it is, but I can't articulate what it is. But I really want them to explain to me if they see it within themselves. And I really want to hear from somebody who can be objective, who can, if you're triggered by this, not attack me because I didn't do it. Don't come for me. But I know other women have the same issue. It's a pattern. And I'm just thankful that when it came to this situation, I didn't have any expectations. I was just like, whatever it is, what it is. And he's like, well, I ain't come over here to argue. I'm like, we not arguing. We trying to gain understanding. And just because it's an uncomfortable conversation you want to check out. You're not a man, boo. Quit trying to say, let me be a man, because I'm trying to let you be a man. And I know women ain't supposed to tell men what being a man is. But I know what being a child is. And you can't be a man and a child at the same fucking time. So if you're being a child, you're not being a man. And while I may not be able to tell you how to be a man, I can tell you how not to be a fucking child. And pretending like you don't understand shit when you actually do. Like playing stupid, playing dumb, that shit is childish. Not being able to call yourself out when you're wrong, or apologize for specific actions or things that you have done. Not being vague and just offering some blanket umbrella. I'm sorry for 2004 Ruben started looking ass nigga. No, nigga. I need you to explain what exactly you were apologizing for. Because if you don't tell me what you're apologizing for, you're going to do that shit again. Apology not accepted. He was so mad. He was so mad. Why do people get so mad when you start to set boundaries? When you set the firm boundaries like, no, access denied. Because you was benefiting when I was lenient. When I was like, oh, okay, he kind of special. I'll let him do this one time. And you started taking advantage, so I was like, no, nigga. When you benefit from getting around people, that's the only time you're threatened by the boundaries. But y'all gonna have to stop projecting. Talking about we upset when we ain't chilling. We mad. Sweetheart, mad for what? Mad about the heat? Mad I don't have central AC? Mad I'm not a billionaire yet? Mad about you? Never. Mad you had the audacity to try to disrespect me to my face and think you was gonna be okay with it? No. You know, I just want to come up here and chill and smoke. Okay, well, what's up? We can smoke. He started pulling shit out of his bag. Then was like, no, never mind. Then he sat there and just sitting there looking stupid. I'm like, what's up? What's on your mind? No, I want to talk about it. So you just gonna sit here in awkward silence? Like, what the fuck did you come over here for? I haven't talked to you in months. You coming here thinking like you just gonna pick up where we left off and act like nothing ever happened and everything's gonna be all honky-dory. No, motherfucker. I remember. I don't remember that. Well, I do. I do. And guess what? You won't do it again. So, I'm curious to see if anybody's going to answer my questions. Or who's going to get triggered and who's going to end up blocked. But I'm going to get off of here. Somebody's coming to clean my house. So, I know I'm not the only one who deals with that type of shit. And I know I'm not crazy. And I know that I can, defend myself in less threatening ways. Or I don't have to express myself in an aggressive way, or be as firm. I know firm is good. Firm is good. But when I'm being firm, don't say I'm aggressive just because you soft. A lot of these niggas be real weak and bitch made. And when women don't be bitch made and don't treat them like they bitch made, it's like you want me to treat you like a man and not a wounded little boy. But when I don't walk around on eggshells around your wounds, now you're triggered by that. We damned if we do, we damned if we don't. And we just waiting on y'all to grow the fuck up. Because we really want to love y'all so fucking bad. We really, really do. A lot of us are willing to be single and date other niggas of other cultures, because it's niggas in every culture. Niggas is not exclusive to black people. Anybody can be a nigga. And it's sad because that name, that term really resonates with royalty, but we done took it and fucked it all up. Nah, niggas ain't shit. And if you ain't a nigga, then I'm not talking about you, nigga. We recognize real men when we see it, but we recognize unhealed little boys when we see them too. So don't be mad at us for living authentically and holding our boundaries and protecting ourselves